Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Rustl'd. Today is the 20th of February, 2017, and I'm back. I took a couple days off, right? The weekend, President's Day happened. I had to go out of town, had to go see a bunch of crazy shit. Ended up going on Tim Pool's podcast. Ended up going on The Drunken Peasants, hanging out with Jeff Holiday, hanging out with Fat Pat, hanging out with Tim Pool, which I just said. A lot of people. Lot of people. So ended up having a good time, but man, a lot of traveling, a lot of back and forth, and I am just, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I am totally, entirely ready to just get on with the streams, get back to work, because I feel like things haven't, I feel like haven't done as much as I need to. My day today's been going okay. It rained. Not rained, it snowed. That's the word I want to use. It snowed today. All day, in fact. It was pretty nice. Very nice, actually. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I can't go anywhere. You know? Although the funny thing was, is it snowed, but the roads were clear. Which is good. Which is good. Late night diaper duty, Eric Durant. Yeah, late night diaper duty. Late night diaper duty. At least by the time I wrap up the stream, hopefully around 11:30, I can wrap it up and then go from there. I do want to see here though, what's the stream quality I am pushing out, because I did up my bit rate to that. Okay, so we're just popping at 720p, but the 720p looks good. It looks good. You guys might notice that the camera looks a little bit different. The camera looks a little bit different. I just got my Canon 7D Mark II. I upgraded from this Panasonic camera is what I was using, this little 4K HCVX 870, which is okay. It's okay. Not the best thing on the planet, but it's okay. Yeah, so I was shooting on that thing. That's what I was broadcasting on. And then before, I wanted to upgrade. So tensions are high in America over the shooting. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They are very high right now. We've had 50 school shooting threats in the last week. 50. And a lot of it has to do with the shooting. It has a lot to do with the shooting, and has everything to do with the shooting. And that's sad as hell. 50. That's insane. So what's going on? But yeah, this is kind of an impromptu thing. I hadn't prepped it out. I had to run errands, so I didn't get back for a while. Again, it's like really icy out, so I had to like salt the driveway, run errands, get the daughter down. I lit a fire and then forgot to open the flute, so the room got smoky. Had to get rid of that, and then yeah, all that stuff. And also find stuff to talk about. The problem with holiday weekends is there's not always a lot. So the stuff we're going to be talking about tonight ultimately is maybe some of it's going to be a little bit on the older side, like at the tail end of my cap on when to talk about stuff. So there's that. What's going on, General Grievous? What's up, Lieutenant Dan? Will Trump cave on gun control? I don't know. How many strip club mass shootings have there been? I don't think there's been any. And that's the thing, too. We'll be looking at one-star strip club reviews, because those are always fun. So I want to make that more of a staple on the show. Try to have like a little bit of a gimmick sort of thing. So if you know of any clubs you want me to take a look at, if you know of any anything like that, definitely let me know, because I would we'll do viewer suggested, so to speak. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see here. Gun control, in my opinion, will never work. It empowers criminals and shafts citizens. That's true. I mean, you really got to think that the only way to really fight back against gun control is really just give everyone a gun. You have to even the playing field. That just means that for the first couple years, it's going to be like the Purge every day. Every day, it's going to have the Purge. Every day. So, hey, what's going on, Top Hats and Champagne? How's it going, buddy? Hold on. I'm going to make you a fucking moderator because I don't know how you're not a moderator already. It's probably because I never see you on here, but let me make you mod. All right. Add moderator. I did not know that I can sit here and bring up the chat. Who's logged in and watching right now. I did not know I could do that. That's pretty cool. So, all right. I can look to see who's here. I mean, granted, it's only 64 people, but that's totally fine with me. That is totally good. All right, let's hold on here. Okay, I'm trying to find out my shit again. Open up too many windows. Secretly replace every bullet in America with blanks. Yeah, that could work, man. That could work. Actually, if you really want to know, probably the one way to cut down on it is, you know, just stop selling bullets. Like, that's it. If they just stop, I mean, people can make their own bullets, obviously, but if you stop selling bullets, it will, you know, that will make it a big thing. And honestly, they're either going to, like, I think they should really, they're probably going to go for that. I know there was a thing a couple years ago where in San Diego, there was a big controversy because there were the claims that FEMA was going out and FEMA was, you know, buying up all the bullets in San Diego, causing a lot of gun nuts. And there are a lot of gun nuts in San Diego to lose their shit. So, accelerator, how do I have too much power? Yeah, the teacher should have guns. A lot of teachers don't want guns, and a lot of teachers don't know how to handle them. They don't care. So there's that. Oh, Luther Milch, you watch every stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Definitely a lot of fun to do. And we have a, like I said, we have a full-blown YouTuber in here, Top Hats and Champagne, who is almost predominantly on Twitch now, I believe, but he's a good dude. What's going on, Abaddon? How are you? They also have laws in California to restrict ammo purchases, probably. Teachers should be specially trained. As I've said before, I've taught teachers how to set up MacBooks, and they can't even do that. So I don't know if they could be properly trained on a gun. Could you imagine like little old Doris in the library, right? Little old crusty 90-year-old Doris who's working just to get by because she ran out of Social Security from all the time she spent it buying lottery tickets. And you're like, Doris, here's a 45. We're going to train you on it. She's like, what? It just wouldn't work. You got to get 1 like per watcher. That's right. 17 likes. Come on. We can do better than that. Hey, what's up, Synthesizer Sam? How are you, man? So, there's definitely a delay here. There's definitely a delay, which I think there's about maybe a 45-second to a minute-long delay, which is okay. If they come after the AR-15 was to stop them from coming after fully automatic shotguns and pistols, it's the next step. It's the logical next step. You know, we're just going to see a lot more shotguns being used in these kind of shootings, or we're going to see a lot more pistols being used. But due to the limited, you know, ammo capacity of a magazine, the likelihood of maybe having a lower body count does seem high. All right, you might have a good idea of that. I have no idea. So, all right. Hey, we got 100 people in here already. Fucking fabulous. Fucking fabulous. All right. So, for those of you who are just popping in here right now, what we're going to be doing is going through the stories. But one of the things I want to do, I want to make a staple on the show, and I've done it before, so there's a lot of new people here, is I want to go through 1-star strip club reviews. I just think those are funny, and I think the audience gets a kick out of them too. And so if you guys can think of a strip club, find the Yelp page, like a strip club in your area, find the Yelp page and send me the Yelp page, mundanematt.com/submit, and I'll pick one. And we'll read it together, and we'll have a good old time. We'll be laughing. What's going on, Anthony Quay? How are you, buddy? So, but why would a law stop someone who's already planning on breaking the law? Exactly. So, so hold on. Regarding gun control, you read earlier that after removing suicide by gun, accidents, and police shootings, about 6,000 people get killed in violent gun crimes. That's 6,000 out of 340 million. Are you talking 340 million being the population of the United States, which actually is more like 323 million? So there's definitely that. That's an idea. Did I see the Jordan Peterson versus Vice debate? No, I did not. I did not. I wish I did. You're going to put Melbourne strip club in your search history? Look, Top Hat. You can just go to Yelp and then find strip club. You don't have to put it in your search history. You know, you also open an incognito window, man. The hell's wrong with you? Right? If you open a private window, it doesn't track your browser history. So that way you can surf your tranny MILF porn and your wife won't find out. The more you know. Dun, 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 dun. So 20 points. We got 5 stories today that are going to be pretty good. Again, some crazy shit that that's going on. And all right, let me just take a look at that. All right, so far no one has sent me any strip clubs yet. Find me some strip clubs. Oh, I did see an update though from the Iceland circumcision video I did last week, where Jewish, Muslim, and Christian leaders condemned the move, calling it an attack on religious freedom. I'll have to talk about that like tomorrow or something. That video got demonetized, which I thought was really, really fucking annoying. Right? Like just really, really fucking annoying. So there's that. But yeah, find me the strip clubs, and we will look. If not, I'm just going to pick a random city. If you want me to do it, then I'll do it. But I want to put this on you, the audience. With the internet and 3D printers, what's the point of gun control? Well, you can 3D print a gun. There's one gun. It's like a single shot, like the Devastator or something. And you still need to like get the firing pin, and you still need a couple other components. So it's not like Watch Dogs 2 where you can 3D print weaponry, but yet still only have a limited supply of weaponry. Go figure. So, you know, there's that. What is Armalite rifle? What does that mean? Let's, what is Armalite? Okay, so they are today's modern sporting rifle. The AR and AR-15 rifle stands for Armalite rifle, after the company that developed it in the 1950s. The AR does not stand for assault rifle or automatic rifle. Oh, well then they really should change the fucking name of an AR-15, because I feel like that would probably help the situation a bit if they did that, right? If they did that, that could be a thing. This is weird. I just took a quick look at my Google Chrome thing. It says super chats or sponsors. Do I have the ability to get sponsored? Does that pop up on the screen at all? I think it does. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. There we go. Yeah. So, Declan, yeah, I've watched Black Panther. I have a review of it up on 3 Buck Theater. That's right. It's the Liberator. That's the gun. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know. I've been enjoying Top Hat's new series where he basically rips off what I do whole cloth. It's all good. I watched it too. I watched your video on the Kingdom Come while I was changing my daughter. This morning? Yesterday morning. I think yesterday morning I watched it. So there's definitely that. There are some there are some Cassandra. There are some strip clubs in your area? Find them. Send me the link. You gotta send me a strip club. Okay, there we go. All right, guy. Okay, ooh, this should be a good one here. Is it just the one review? I got sent one. It's I was hoping for more than one, but let me take a look at this one real quick. This is a long one. Okay. This is for one in Syracuse. All right. We'll take a screw it. We'll do this one. It's just one long review. It's funny. Right, we'll bring it up. We'll do the 1 star, like literally just one. That'll be pretty good. Okay. So let me just bring this up here. Okay, so this was a submission for the Alpine Gentlemen's Club for the 1-star strip club review, which is located in Syracuse, New York. And this is, again, for those of you who are unaware, Usually it's fun to find like a couple strip clubs that have like multiple 1-star reviews. This only has one 1-star review. And I think after reading it, you're probably going to realize why. This person is not a fan. But let's take a quick look here at the Alpine Gentlemen's Club photos. Let's see what they have here for their photos. Decent merch, right? I don't know why they'd have a sports bra and why you'd buy a sports bra. I'm pretty sure if you were a man going to the strip club and you were going like, hey, I need to get my wife or my girlfriend or my significant other a gift, you might as well come back over here and get the Alpine Gentlemen's Club established in 1953, because nothing says I love you like, hey, I just had vagina rubbed in my face from another woman while I paid her money and helped her get through medical school. Seriously. I don't know if that is meant to be like a star like glinting off of her mouth or off of her teeth, or if that is just a really odd covered cum shot. So you've got hashtag no place but Alpine trademarked. They trademarked the hashtag. That is already pretty trashy. Pretty trashy. I like it. I dig it. Let's see. Pop bottles with Q's hottest only at Alpine Gentlemen's Club. Do not like the spacing. Yeah, do not like the spacing. They could have probably figured this out a little bit better, but obviously they did it here so they could have experience our all-new VIP room, 401 Butternut Street, Syracuse, New York, 315-474-6709. Okay. Here we've got one of the girls wearing the shirt. So far, this is the only image I've seen on here that I find to be relatively interesting. This would be the girl who would wear the shirt. So unless you are, in fact, going to be buying the waitresses, their uniform, I don't quite see why you need to buy a sports bra. Spiky bra, no place but Alpine. Again, missing the trademark, so not as trashy, but okay. And then, sure, just a random creep shot. That's all this is. This is just a random creep shot. That's quite literally it. Jesus loves strippers. I completely agree. Jesus loves everybody, and strippers are people. They may not be reviewed as much as people, but they are. And then this is the club. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I would necessarily go into this club. It looks like a dive bar, but that, of course, is the Alpine Gentlemen's Club in Syracuse, New York. Now, as you can see here, the reviews really only give it 1. And it's from just a few months ago, October 9th, 2017. He's the first to review the Alpine Gentlemen's Club, established in 1953. So John D here, you are a pioneer in the Syracuse, New York area. Let's see how you stack up or how you rate the Alpine Gentlemen's Club. So here, if I could give this place a 0-star rating, I would. Their website is alpinesear.com. And they had a BOGO well drink special from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. with $1 pizza slices. There was no pizza. I had to tell the bartender about the 2-for-1 drink special because she forgot. And that does relatively make sense. The prices: a well drink was $5, served in a glass that you usually had to get a shot on the rocks in. It was very bitter, rum and coke. Never had bitter rum before. The bitterness was probably in the soda, meaning they overloaded it with CO2. That's generally what happens in these situations. The diet soda was $3.50. Yes, $1 more than the well drink. With the BOGO in play. The cover charge was $5. Hey man, listen. Talk all you crap you want about the drinks. If the cover charge into a strip club is only $5, that's not that bad. That's really not that bad. See, for the first hour plus we were there, the dancers didn't dance. They all sat around, yawning, going outside, and cackling. What time of day were you there, man? Right? Like, even when I went to clubs and it was like the middle of the day, they still were dancing. They may have just been on a really weird rotation of like 3 girls, but they still did it. So if they're sitting around not dancing, then who are you paying to see? What's going on? Very disinterested lot. They all needed a nap. I don't think you should charge a cover charge if there's no show or even the hope of a show in the next hour after arrival. There was a college baseball game on the TV that was good, and they had Fox News on for you to listen to. It was a wild time. Yeah, nothing says, hey man, I'm here to get my dick rubbed, like a college baseball game and Fox News. Actually, I want to take the Fox News comment back. Some other anchors who are female. Not bad. Not bad. Better than MSNBC. Oh, I think, yeah, Better than MSNBC. Eventually, the dancing did start. There were very few real customers in the place on a Saturday night. I would say 3 or 4 maximum. Lots of staff and friends of the staff. Define friend as someone who gets drinks for free, goes behind the bar themselves, etc. The girls dance 3 songs in a set of one stage, and then another 3 on another stage. The general format goes, well, okay, first, so they're doing 3 songs, which are usually about 2.5 minutes. So they're up there for 7.5 minutes? That's a long time. Usually they do 2 songs, like a 5-minute set. Stage 1. Song 1, girl takes most of the song to get on the stage. Okay. Song 2, girl adjusts herself and the clothing and fluffs hair. Stripper pole maintenance is done, usually 2 times or more. Song 3 talks to a passing staff member about something really important that couldn't have been handled before or after the 6 minutes of intense dancing. On to stage 2. The stage is so far away they should rent binoculars to see the dancers. Song 1, adjust self, stripper pole maintenance, adjust lights, and adjust something on the stage. No idea what, but it takes lots of time. Song 2, stripper pole maintenance, fluff hair, dance a little. Song 3, generally like song 2, but I did see 2 dancers take their top off very briefly. Now, which really makes me wonder when it comes to the stripper pole maintenance, if they are just really trying to wipe it down to keep the herpes out, the crabs out, and the HPV at a minimum. The odd thing about this place is that the topless dancers generally do not go topless. That's never a good sign. I saw 2 that tried, but one had the lights turned down so low, usually red and blue lights, I could only see her body outline. One had a slow strobe light on, only that light, so you could catch a fast glimpse of them topless. The topless time might be maybe 1 minute of the dance, plus they only do this dance on the stage that's 50 feet away. You really do need those binoculars. And at this point, I really do wish that the Alpine Gentlemen's Club in Syracuse, New York, very much had photos of what it looked like on the inside. Not just sports bras with the company branding and a hat that says Jesus loves strippers. Now, one dancer came up to me and told me that they told her she had to talk to customers. She asked me if I was having a good time. I told her the place sucked. I told her that I thought that it was a topless club since I was there for over an hour and a half and there were no topless dances yet. I wasn't thrilled. She told me that some would go topless on the stage, but you couldn't really see far away. She told me to wait for her and she would give me a show. Yeah, right. Their whole job there is to get you to buy a show. So she's going to be flirting. Either she sucked at flirting, if that's evidenced by the fact that they told her to go talk to people, because that is how the clubs get their money outside of, what it costs for the drinks, as well as the cover charge. And if the cover charge is only $5, they're not making much from the front door. Now, it says here, on the wall, the following prices were posted for VIP dances. One song, $20. Each additional song, $20. And again, you're looking at like a 7.5 minutes costing you about 60 bones. 15 minutes was $100, which is actually a better deal than buying than getting 6 songs in a row. Because 6 songs in a row would cost you $120 and you'd get about the same amount of time. So you save a little bit. 30 minutes is $200, which again would be a fair amount. 45 minutes would be $300. 60 minutes is $400. What would you, look, okay, unless you're in there like really doing something, you don't need an hour in the VIP room, right? Like you do not need that unless you're wearing like extremely thin pants and you don't expect to walk out there needing your underwear anymore. Like that is just a fact about these VIP clubs. Now it says if you do take the VIP, I would suggest going for the 1 hour deal. After the dancer takes a nap, primps herself, and performs pole maintenance, you might get a few minutes of entertainment. Did I mention the baseball game on the TV? It was a great game. They turned off the sound on Fox News when the dancers were awake enough to dance, but kept the show on. I was practicing reading lips, kept me busy during the slow times. All right, okay. Let's see here. There's other reviews here, but they're not. Oh, and they got some good reviews there too. But this is good. This is good. The Alpine Gentlemen's Club in Syracuse, New York. Obviously a place that you have no real need to go. And that's okay. That's okay, because I'm pretty sure Syracuse offers a lot more in terms of a finer gentleman's establishment. But hey, if you're looking for Fox News and a baseball game on a Saturday night, that's your best place to go. Oh my God. That's pretty fucking funny, man. That is pretty fucking funny. I need to, I'm going to look that up. Alpine Gentlemen's Club. See if I can find like an image. Oh, there's some, the bouncer though is freaking, the bouncer is freaking huge though. Oh, okay. You can Google, oh wait, well, just go on there and Google Alpine Gentlemen's Club. And really, all the big image you keep seeing is the bouncer from the looks of it. That's really about it. Because there's like photos you see of strip clubs, but it's not of Alpine. It's of like LA and stuff. So that's pretty funny. That sounds like a horrible club. Well, I'll save this guy as the I'll save this dude as the thumbnail, because I did record that segment on its own. So there's definitely that. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Oops. Hey, what's going on, Shidoko? There's no live notification? I just went, yeah, that's kind of weird. There should be. Son of a bitch. So, what do you guys think? Would you guys go to that strip club? Would you guys do that? I wouldn't go there. I've been to some bad clubs. I wouldn't go there. What do I think of Google's removing video view image? It's stupid, but you just do right click and view image and you're fine. So your friend joked about taking you there a few years back. Yeah, I wouldn't go. I mean, $5 to get in, but if you just want to watch baseball and shit, that's pretty lame. That's pretty lame. All right, guys, we got 172 people, right? We need to get those likes up to 100. Remember, that's how you cure cancer. So mod team, start pushing those likes, pushing those likes. Actually, let me go and add a couple more mods because there's definitely that. All right, well, Cassandra, you sent me another one. Well, we'll take a look at that at another time. Dallas Club. Okay. I've only been to, was it Aphrodite in Dallas was the one I went to? Oh, there's a few of them there. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's fun. It's fun finding the reviews. So, Mega Mind Swifted says that you're 17. Yeah, I understand that. That's something you may not want to, you can't go. You went to Sapphire in Vegas as a 2.4 rating. There needs to be a strip club version of Kitchen Nightmares. Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. So yeah, that's RJ. I thought you were a mod. So there's that. Okay. Would do 100 dislikes work as well as 100 likes? Surprisingly, yes, actually. Surprisingly, yes, they do. They actually do work about that. They work all right. Because what it is, I mean, ultimately what it boils down to is that when you like a video, it's just, that's engagement. So the engagement is actually what they use to promote the stream. So ultimately, that's going to be a thing. So, so yeah, build an army of mods. Yes. I mean, although if you watch like anything in, you know, like the Kumite or whatever, that everyone in there is a mod. So no. Who's this? Okay. All right. So let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, James. $5. Oh, well, that's kind of weird. Hold on here. I don't know why that was. Some stuff got moved around. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. I don't know why they got fucked up. It says, I've never been to a strip club because I grew up in Washington. You can't drink in the strip clubs there. Yeah, I mean, you can't drink in the ones in California either. I mean, you have your standard full nude, and then you have your topless, and topless is generally, 21 and up and everything else. But I will say, though, that I did in Portland. You can do that. Like I went to a full nude that has a full bar, and I like that was interesting. But then Portland has a lot of strip clubs. Has a lot of strip clubs. So, have I watched Our Cartoon President? I saw the pilot episode. It was not funny. I did not laugh at all. If everyone's a mod, no one's in. Can I get AdBlock Plus as a sponsor? You know, Google just rolled out their own AdBlock, right? Like they did. They just rolled out their own AdBlock. So that was pretty funny. You can drink in strip clubs in Canada. You can drink in strip clubs in Mexico too. Can you fap in a strip club? Well, I mean, it all depends on how you do it, right? I mean, ultimately, that's what it all boils down to. If you can do it in the right way, if you can, like, I would argue that you could probably sit there and wear, like, you know, thin pants, right? You could wear thin pants. You could wear, like, you know, no underwear. You can position yourself in the right place beforehand. You know, kind of like get yourself like a little bit of a pregame thing going on. Position your junk to where it's going to roll right, you know, be in the right spot when she's doing her thing, and then do that. There are ways where you can have that release at a strip club. There are. No, Leo, I have not seen like Devilman Crybaby yet. Did I get a haircut? Yeah, a couple weeks ago. This is just not as up today. So yeah, hashtag thin pants. Yeah, Crom 2s. As soon as I see Altered Carbon, I haven't seen it yet. Have I ever done a YouTube 101? I'm gonna probably do a YouTube video about the whole new partnership program, the way that it's worked out, and then go from there. I'll probably end up doing that because, but that will be probably on the vlog channel. But yeah, I need to do something like that so I can help people out because a lot of people are pretty upset. I mean, I was pushing for the vlog channel was actually going to be demonetized, and then they emailed me today and said I was monetized, and I did not hit the 4,000 hours. But there are people out there with more than 4,000 hours that are not being approved. So I do not know what's going on. Leo Moon, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Says, hey, Matt, ever think about doing gaming story on MG Survive? Game launch without an update to let people onto the single player? Oh, no shit. It's generally, I like gaming news. I do, but I don't do much of it unless I feel like there's a particular reason to do it. Ultimately, I just haven't got around to it yet. But I do need to. So ever catch couples having sex in the movie theater? Oh, dude, all the time. One night I think I saw like 3 couples overall doing it. I've scared a couple people. I didn't know that they were fucking. There was the one where like, well, okay, so imagine, because I worked at a drive-in. All right, so imagine you got a kids movie and you got a family there, and there's like, you know, mom, dad, 4 little kids. They're all sprawled out. Everyone's having a good time. You know, they're all in the bed of their truck, right? Because that's what happens during the winter, during the summer months. And then immediately next to them is another truck. There's a young couple in there, and they're not really liking the movie because they want to see the next movie. So they decide to kill some time. So they decide to have a little bit of fun, and they start getting down, getting dirty, getting busy. And then all of a sudden, I have to, I get a call from the parents, or the parents come and find me, and they say, hey, listen, there are these 2 people having sex in the vehicle next to me. Can you go tell them to knock it off? Because I have kids here. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I go over there with a flashlight, you know, like you do. And I go over there and I shine the flashlight. I'm like, hey, no fucking, right? And I scare them and shit. But I mean, I've watched people like straight up just get it on and not care. I've watched people, you know, do all sorts of fucking crazy things. You got your first blowjob at Joe Dirt opening night. Nice. There's a lot of things I've seen at my drive-in. Did I hear about the skier who finessed her way to the Olympics? Yeah, I saw Philly D's video today about that. It's pretty good. How many people did I kill when I was an Uber driver? None. I only drove Uber Eats for a short amount of time, though. So there's that. I only did that for a little bit. So, oh shit, I didn't realize. Hold on, I want to do that real quick. I want to make, let's see. Hold on a sec. I do want, there's that question there about the internet blood sports. Okay, hold on. So, do I think that internet blood sports are going to be used as an excuse to crack down on YouTube more as a result of how many alt-right commentators they feature and how successful they are? To be honest with you, what you've got, and I'm not a confirmed voyeur, by the way. I just happen to be at a place where there was a lot of that kind of shit going on. So just as an FYI, but also just as an FYI, if you don't want to give Google 30% of your money to donate to the show, there is also Streamlabs, link in the video description, or streamlabs.com/mundane mods. Feel free to spam that. I'm a shill motherfucker. But no. Getting on the, okay. So internet blood sports, because I made a comment today on Twitter about internet blood sports, that kind of, I think, set off a lot of people. And it was really funny too, because basically I said, if internet blood sports is being compared to intellectual MMA, which is what JF Garrity was saying. He legitimately said this. He legitimately said that internet blood sports is like intellectual MMA. And in no way is that even remotely true on any plane of fucking existence. Is it intellectual MMA? It got completely laughed at by so many fucking people. So I said, if that's being considered intellectual MMA, then Jerry Springer is, going to be compared to, or then Jerry Springer is a Ken Burns documentary. And that's what's going on. So to get back to your question, though, about whether or not this is going to be used to crack down, that really does all depend on YouTube itself going after the blood sports. Like, let's say right now, the two key that are doing it are Worski and Kumite, right? And so if by some chance enough people go out there and flag it as hate speech, which could happen, all right, I'm just saying, could happen. And if by some chance YouTube sees that and says, ooh, this is pretty bad. Like, they're talking about having an ethno state. They're making lots of money through super chat donations. We're technically at this point getting a 30% cut of that through super chat donations. This won't look well. And they could in fact pull it down. Alternatively, if another, like, let's say a lot of SJW journalists happen to come across it, and because there's already been right-wing watches already talked about it, if that's the case, then they can start looking into it. They can start publicizing it, and then if they cause enough stir by trying to say that YouTube is catering to the alt-right through streams, and then they accuse YouTube of profiting off of hate speech, then YouTube could come down and demonetize that channel. But would they use it to crack down on other people? Probably not. YouTube is, at this point now, at least from what they've already shown us, they are not going to be attacking everyone for someone's screw up. Like, that was the whole thing they said like 2 weeks ago or whatever, or last week, when talking about the issue involving, if someone does something to damage YouTube as a whole, then they will respond to that channel. They're going to try to nip it in the bud before it impacts everybody. And that's what I think is going to go on here. So ultimately what we're seeing is, a possibility. All right. Like, if it's entirely a possibility that it could happen. And if you want my honest opinion, it probably has a higher chance of happening than not, because as Worski likes to tout, Sargon versus Spencer had 12,000 people watching it, and it was number one worldwide live stream at the time. Now, if that for some reason would have been, like, let's say, an absolute shit show, which to an extent it kind of was in some respects, if that was an absolute shit show, and they were to like segment out the clips of Worski saying it's okay to be a Nazi and taking $100 super chat, which did happen, I think, a couple times, and then again use that as kind of fodder to attack it, then they could lose it. So that's the whole point of internet blood sports. If you want to change it to a debate platform and have people come on that are opposing viewpoints and have a discussion that might get rowdy, then that's one thing. But given the way that it's currently going, this 4-on-1, 3-on-1 kind of pile up gangbang from what I've seen, in some cases is not going to go over well, and that's only going to cause animosity. The idea behind blood sports ultimately is not to, in my opinion, it is not to have an intellectual bout of ideas. It's to cause damage. It's to attack. It's to have it be a shit show. It's to be that level of drama. And you can tell when people like Medicare make videos and everything else, have, you know, a 17-minute long video defending internet blood sports, which all boils down to it's like Jerry Springer, and people like Jerry Springer. Yeah, well, if you look at Jerry Springer, like look at his Twitter, yeah, he's got 160,000 Twitter followers, but all they do is show video footage of people fighting. And the thing is, like, no one really watches it. So it does have a tendency of fading away because it moves away from what could be known as the zeitgeist of the moment. And that's, again, it's kind of a flash in the pan. If they change it enough to where it becomes probably more approachable, then that's going to be a thing. But ultimately, the only way to get rid of that at this point, I think, and this is just pretty much Jaworski directly, ditch JF, because you know, he wants an ethno state. He's basically the alt-right, from my understanding, and that could come back to bite him in the ass. And so, and all it's going to take is a couple people to report it, and a couple YouTube to take a close look at it, to see some choice comments that have come out of that stream, those streams, and then they could shut it down. And that's the thing, is like, so people got mad at me for saying, like, it's probably a good idea to have tact in how you say certain things and how you espouse your ideas, as to not influence anyone or send off the negative idea or the wrong idea. And, you know, it is what it is. So internet debates are pointless. Nothing changes. Yeah. Jim's defense of IBS was the weakest Jim vid you'd seen in 5 years. It was pretty weak. Yeah, Hebrew, I was at, no, Wizard of Cause, you're not the only one that reads it as fucking, as irritable bowel syndrome. I read that shit too. But yeah, internet debates are ultimately pointless. Nothing ever changes. All it does is it gets people worked up for no other purpose than to just get worked up. So there's that. That's really about it. Okay, so I see, all right. Cool beans. Cool fucking beans. How is the star view in Washington? Are you talking like how are the stars here? They're nice. They good. They good. I like them. Can't see them tonight though because it's snowing, but that's what happens in the Northwest. Not as bad as the East. I could never live in the Northeast. Like New Hampshire. Fuck New Hampshire. Anyone who lives in New Hampshire should move to Oregon. Nick. Which MSN pundit do I hate the most? Oh man. Oh Jesus. I don't watch a lot of, like, I really don't like Hannity, because Hannity at this point, Trump's hand is so far up Hannity's ass. Just going like this. So we got a super chat here from Brett Harvey, $10 Canadian. Thank you, sir. Saying, how much do you weigh? You have to be, oh, hey, you spent, hold on. You spent $10 to make a fat joke? Dude, you were like well over 100 pounds off from even what I'm actually at. Like, I weigh about 235. Not the best, arguably, considerably. Not the fattest I've ever been in my entire life. Need to go to the gym. That's how it is. If you want to know how fat I am, dude, just fucking ask. But hey, if you want to spend the $10, by all means, spend the $10. I would have said leave it up. It's fine. You can leave it up. I'm okay with that. I'm not against it. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed one here from Michael Jareen, for $2 saying, how did I meet the drunken peasants? Well, one of the things that happened was, a couple years ago, okay, so ultimately it's like this. YouTubers watch other YouTubers, right? YouTubers, we watch a ton of people. And, you know, because I do anti-feminist commentary, anti-social justice warrior commentary, and a wide other variety of topics, I ended up talking to Amazing Atheist. And also, you know, Gamergate was a thing. They invited me on the Drunken Peasants, randomly just to come on. And, you know, the first time I was a little awkward, didn't know what to say. It's kind of hard to be on a show like that when you're not in person. And then they ended up bringing me on again. And then I did a guest video for TJ a while back. And then I've met up with him twice now for a couple meetups. When he was living in Seattle, I was hoping to get together with them, and then they left Seattle before I had the chance. But I was actually in studio last night for their 420th show. Like Repsion was there, Billy the Fridge was there, Pimp Monk was there. Pimp Monk is cool as shit. Buttress and I forget the other girl's name. When I walked out of there, though, I had a contact high. It was really bad. And I still had to drive home. So I kind of sat in my car for a while and then just like, okay, I'm good. Jumped on a call with people, put my headphones on, jumped in a Discord chat and everything else and drove home. But that's the whole thing. So it's, that's how I met him. That's how I got to know the Drunken Peasants, man. So did you like, I don't know what you, not me, holy fuck, dude. I don't know what you said. So it's another $10 Canadian, which through the rate of conversion is about $7 American. So, you spent $7. I don't really know what it is he said, man. I'm sorry. If you message, put it in the chat what you said. Everything else. So, Secular Penguinist says, surprised TJ would willingly leave the state with legal weed. It's because where they were living, in my opinion, is very expensive where they live. Where at least the studio was. Bellevue, Washington it's the rich part of Seattle. Bill Gates doesn't live that far away. So real mundane G's, click that like button. Stance on what Trump did today at the bump fire stocks. Think he may have heard his 2020 run. I think when it comes to the gun control debate, they're willing to take that loss. They're willing to take the L in order to basically make people forget about them. They can also use it as a way of going like, no, we tried. So there's that. Like, I think that's what, I don't think it's going to hurt him as much as people either think it will or that. I think that's really about it. So, I don't know anything about what's going on. I don't know anything about the whole TJ and Ben thing. I'm not up to date on any of that information. So, you hate Lawrence O'Donnell so much you would do whiteface to mock him to white supremacy. Lawrence O'Donnell doesn't really annoy me as much as other people, but you can see when he very much is trying to become Rachel Maddow. He will do the exact same thing Maddow does, where like that story, setting up the story, and you're like, God damn, can you land the fucking plane? It's been 15 fucking minutes. And as much as I like Maddow, and I do like Maddow because she actually covers stuff that a lot, like no one else is even talking about. Now, no one on CNN really talks about, definitely no one on Fox talks about. And on MSNBC, she's got that shit locked down, which is one of the reasons why Maddow is the #1 most watched news show. She, for her time slot, I believe, but she's got a large audience. You see, hold on, Hebro, where did you donate? Did you go to Streamlabs? Is that, hold on, let me take a look here. Streamlabs, let me see what's going on with that shit. Let me check it out. Okay. Streamlabs should work. Worked for me. So I don't know. I'm not too sure. All right. You can do the donation amount on Streamlabs. Let me just double check everything is here. All right. Although it does say, streamlabs.com/Monday Matt. You can go there and post stuff. I'm still trying. I'm going to probably get a new thing on here that will have like more stuff. I'm going to talk to people for help. Were I ever a fan of DSP? No, I've never been a fan of DSP. In terms of like ever liking Darkside Phil, like I've watched a bunch of his stuff, but you wouldn't call me a fan. He has me blocked on Twitter right now because I made a crack about him. one day and shit. I don't hate Darkside Phil. As I said in that one video, I pity Darkside Phil, which is really funny too, because there's actually a guy who made a video that was all like, it was like, there's, as I said in that video, there's a whole cottage industry surrounding Darkside Phil and everything else. And this one guy was all like, DSP News, Mundane Matt pities him, or Mundane Matt likes him, or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So yeah, yeah. Twisted Vision says here, bump stocks are a sacrifice for optics. That's true. That is very true. So yeah. But that's the whole thing. They're just, it's on optics. So, did I hear about the insanely rude message left on the ambulance in the UK? Yeah, I did. That woman got arrested for it. Actually, she got arrested for leaving that. Hebrew, $2 super chat. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're rocking about an hour into this thing. We're coming up on an hour into it here. 50 minutes. Pushing out 53 kilobits, or 5,500 kilobits a second, which is pretty decent in terms of quality. Really wanted to go for the 1080p stream. I might have to up it. So there's definitely that. No, Hebrew, what's your question, dude? What's your question? You can ask that before. You can definitely ask your question, and then we'll go into the stories here. Bleak Tower says, I think there's an audience for DSP. Hate watching a stream. Gets net some bank. Yeah, I think, I really do think that DSP, like, fucking, people hate watch him, and there are people who make more money than him talking about him than he makes, I think, at least in terms of YouTube ad rev. But the guy's got a decent system set up that could work if he would just pull a set out of his ass. So there's that. What am I drinking? I'm drinking, Gold Peak iced tea, unsweet tea, 0 calories. I'm trying to, like, I don't like to drink soda, and I had soda this week, so I'm trying just to go back to tea. So, what are my thoughts on Joey Sparkle BS being on the Kumite? She's been around, like, Joey's been popping up a lot lately in different places. She's crazy as shit, all right? Like, that's my personal opinion. I'm not a professional to make that mental diagnosis. However, but looking at her actions, looking at how quickly she is to rage on everything, and just the general amount of nonsense that spews forth from her hole, yeah, I would say she's out there. She does not like me, so it's pretty funny. She made a comment about me the other day. This is really good. She got mad. Okay, so over the summer, and this probably wasn't the nicest thing on the planet, but whatever. I went to PAX, and Repsion and Nick Monroe was there. You may know him, Nick Mon, on Twitter. And so we go to get lunch, right? And all three of us have kind of been like poking fun at Joy. So we decided to fuck with her a little bit. We fucked with her a little bit. We took a picture of the three of us together, and it was something like, I think it was like, wrote a note like plotting messing with Joy or something. I forget what it said, right? It was just a quick shot of her lunch, and then posted it up online. And so that angered her to all hell and back. So she was on a stream the other day, and someone linked me over to it, and I'm sitting here and I tune in. And within maybe 2 minutes or something, I hear my name pop up, and it's about that situation. So all I do is write in the chat, trollolololololololol, you know, like trollolololololololol, you know, all that. And it just, oh my God, it set the whole fucking room off. Like the whole chat, the whole stream lost their collective mind. It was the funniest goddamn thing. I mean, they are hurling insults and insults and insults at me. But I was just sitting there laughing, just laughing, because they were having a nice conversation. Joy was venting her frustrations, and then I just went flick, and it just, right, like a freaking kicked a beehive. A beehive that full of bees with no stingers. Like, let's just realize that's all they are. There's no stingers whatsoever. They don't even have teeth like yellow jackets. They can't do anything besides just buzz really loudly, and then they just go to sleep. But it was really funny because she's like, how long have you been on YouTube? Like 10 years? And you got 160,000 subs? I was on for like 6 months and I got like 60,000. And I'm just sitting there going, like, you do realize that our entire content strategy is entirely different. Like the people that use that as an insult, like, they don't understand the business. They don't understand. Like, Joy and people like her that have kind of risen in that level of prominence, it's a fast meteoric rise, and it is a hard fall. Because what happens is you cannot maintain the drama. When the drama you're looking to exploit dies, and let's be fair, every day is a new Half-Life when it comes to that kind of shit. Every day, your drama will not sustain itself as much as a day before. And you will then try to push it and 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 push it in hopes of stretching it out. And all you do is end up alienating your audience even more. So as a result of that, it just made me crack the fuck up. So she ended up fucking just like totally spurging out. You know, it's making that comment, and I'm just like, look, here's the thing. You can sit there and say, for one, I've been at this for 6 years. The account is 9 years old. Like, you can sit there and claim, oh, you just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever, you know, get mad at me all you want. I don't give a shit. You know, like, my Social Blade numbers are still up. I'm still growing. You know, whatever. I've been working on 3 Buck Theater. That's growing up too. That's a lot of fun. I enjoy what I do there. And that's the whole point. It's like, that's why I said, like, these are people that like have like no teeth, can't impact me whatsoever, but they're going to try. And that is kind of where we find ourselves in regards to this internet discourse. So I just, you know, Nick, yeah, when Nick says here, remember, can we please actually discuss the actual issues? Nick is correct. Wizard of Cause is correct. I fully recommend. There are 205 people watching right now. If you have not gone and subscribed to Wizard of Cause, you absolutely should. Nick is a good dude, makes good content, deserves more love. And also, if I recall correctly, Sunday nights, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Thursday evenings, I want to say around the same time, over on Twitch, you have YouTube Saints on Sundays, and you have Midweek Saints on Thursdays on Twitch, and that is just the show. It's a good show to watch. Actually, as far as people's content goes on YouTube in terms of watching a show, like, I will schedule going to the gym around the YouTube Saints. I'll get to the gym, put on my headphones, watch the show, usually shitpost in the chat a little bit, talk to everybody, and then go about my day. It's actually one of the favorite things to watch on YouTube, so I recommend you guys check it out if you want. So that is just my shilling for a friend, but I want to make that full public disclosure. You know, he's my bud. So there's that. There's very much that. So if you guys want to check that out, check it out. I think we need more love. We need a bit more love. And everything else. All right, we got 76 likes. Come on, let's get it. 24 more. 24 more. Okay, let me bring up the first story here so we can get this thing going, so I can get through this shit. Chelsea Valkenberger says here, honestly, I'd have less issue with IBS if the poster child wasn't a fuck the French ethno-nationalist who abuses the mentally ill. Maybe he should go out with Joy. Yeah, I think he would. I think JF would find her quite the interesting experience, so to speak. But you know, here's the thing. I honestly, I in half agree with you. You know, normalizing the alt-right in that regard, not the best course of action. Talking about actual debate issues, yeah, that's okay. But the thing is, a lot of times, it boils down to, you call it like the destruction or decimation of your target, the destruction or the takedown of people you don't like, and it becomes more cannibalistic than it does anything else. So that's the whole part of it that I don't like, right? Like, you can criticize people, you can do things obviously, but when it becomes more about trying to destroy them, you know, then it becomes less about the issues at hand, and that's the big problem here. Keemstar even tried telling Joy to stop. Whoa, what? Holy shit. It's also Esker Outcome's birthday. Well, motherfuck you, dude. Happy goddamn fucking birthday. Hope you're having a good one. Definitely. Drake Dean, thanks for coming in. I really do appreciate you coming by, man. I know you're here pretty often. I do appreciate that. What are my thoughts on the Florida shooting and the new info that's come out? To be honest with you, Shidoko, I don't quite know about all that jazz, to be honest. I haven't really looked at it too much, so there's that. But it does suck. The whole situation's fucking terrible and sad and tragic and should never happen. But I will say this though, the thing is, what we need to remember above all else is there are the kids that died and teachers that died that gave their life for other people. And that selfless act is not something they had to do. They chose to do. And that is why they need to be talked about. they need to have their pictures on billboards. They need to be celebrated as heroes, the heroes that they are. And we need more of that, because we need more of the inspiring mindset behind that kind of action. The selfless act to save others. Put others before yourself, regardless of the peril you find yourself in. We need more of that. And honestly, I have to give credit to the Daily Wire for not publishing the name of the shooter. I have to give credit to Philly D for not publishing the name of the shooter. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, we've gotten 50 fucking school shooting, or 50 school shooting threats in the last week. So there's that. Oh, Twisted Visions. I did hear about the kid they look alike, the kid from California and the kid from Florida. I did see about that. Yeah. I know Declan, Batman Ninja's not coming. God fucking damn it. God damn it. Keemstar didn't want to exploit the whole Daddy of 5 situation. That is okay. Okay, I guess. Sure. Once these IBS types to run out of targets to take down, that's when they'll turn on each other. What do you think happened when SJW content ran out? Horror. I was saying that before. I was telling that to Andy Worski back in fucking June. Before VidCon, I said anti-SJW content's going to run out because the SJW content's not coming and cannibalism is going to happen. And that's the whole point. So I'm just saying. All right, Leo. I will give it a shot. I'm almost caught up on American Dad and the other crap to watch. Cronus, I don't know what's going on with the with that right now, with the car chase in LA. So it's not on my list of things to talk about. Mostly because. So there's that. Sorry, I got a DM. I wish I could talk about it, but I can't. It's so fucking funny though. All right. Yeah, it doesn't really. I know. Secular Penguinist. I know. His name, his face is everywhere. I get it. I guess it's people just trying to be the change they want to see in the world, ultimately. So there's that. What's going on, Walking Scrotum? Love the name, sir. Love the name. So, the extremes always eat themselves in the end? Yeah, pretty much. That's why it's pretty funny. So, Nick, you just got to turn that philosophy and somehow apply it towards current events, and then you could get, you know, more viewers on your channel, man. You got to cover them current events, man. See, don't do what I did. Don't do what I do, which is cover a wide variety of news stories that don't always, you know, sequence up with each other, right? So there's that. But hey, listen, I mean, my content's a scattershot, but I just want to point out, man, like, damn, this camera is fucking nice. This camera, so nice. Look at that stream. Look at that. Look at the quality. You can see the fact that I need to put some fucking powder on my face because my cheeks are reflecting the fucking light. That's how good this camera is. Oh, so good. Okay, Sudoku. Snaps for traps. So, Bell didn't go off. Yeah, Fry Guy's been on for an hour, man. I don't know. I don't know why. What are my thoughts on the hybrid network? They do like the top 5 shit, right? I think I've seen some of their stuff, and they pull in some serious views. Not necessarily a huge fan of the content, but I've seen them. Am I going to give the keto diet a try? Yeah, I think I am. Hey, Rock Barn Records. Thank you, man, so much. I really appreciate that. Appreciate you coming on in. Appreciate the 209 people we have in here right now. Which, you know, hey, listen, I may have 160,000 subs, but 209 people chilling with me on a Monday night, Tuesday night. It's Tuesday, isn't it? I don't even fucking know anymore, man. I got that baby girl out there, and it's just like I don't even know what's going on. So, oh, Oliver, thank you. Are traps gay? No, not all. If they want, ultimately. Okay, is it the 770 MK1 or MK2? Snick, it is the MK2. Yeah, right. I'm gonna take this fucker outside and like get some shots tomorrow of the snow. I really want to get I don't know why I want to get like a little 3-axis gimbal for the fucking DSLRs, man. So What's my opinion on America's shithole of a public education system? We should take, we should really find more ways to, to put money back in schools and shit. I think legally, make pot legal federally, take the tax, put it into schools. There we go. Oh, they got the Discovery Tour finally on that? I do have Assassin's Creed Origins. I love Assassin's Creed Origins. Good night, Crusader man. Bert Crowbane saying, Matt, you're killing it recently. Keep it up. Keep it up, daddy. Oh, thank you. I will. I'll keep it up. I'll keep it erect just for you. Yeah. So, there's that. Okay. Let's get into this. Let's get into the work here so I can go back and play fucking video games. Unknown archive, are you still in here, you motherfucker? What the fuck are you sending me right now, goddammit? What are you fucking sending me? He's not in here anymore. He was in here. He's sending me all some crazy shit on fucking on Twitter. You bastard. You're distracting me. I'm trying to get my goddamn fucking work done. Son of a bitch. All right. Let's bring out the snaps for traps. First, let's talk about some nonsense here. Let's talk about some nonsense, because this is some good nonsense. Well, not good. This is just straight up nonsense. But as always, for those of you who are new here, snaps for traps. If you guys like it, remember, snaps or traps in the chat. Flood that chat. Because it's, I should say, for new people, when I go to edit something, I like to snap to mark it in the audio file, the WAV file, so I can see it in the video. Sometimes I don't catch it. Like if you watch the video I posted today about the vegan YouTuber who died, get to about the 17-minute mark, and there's a quick fuck up there, and I miss it because I literally just went and then kept going, which is not how I usually do it, but I was in a rush, so there's that. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Snaps or traps. God damn it. All right. It's been a while since I've done this in front of an audience. So, there's been a big hubbubaloo recently over the national anthem, just in our country. It's so weird that it's become this politicized thing. Recognizing our national anthem when at ball games or when at school events is now a political act of defiance. Football players like Colin Kaepernick taking a knee during the national anthem as a way to protest police brutality, which, hey, listen, I just want to kind of point out, I'm fully on board with protesting police brutality. I just feel that it would be better served in front of a police station after the game instead of during the national anthem. Because after you're done with that, like 2 minutes into it or whatever, you're done. So your 2-minute protest ultimately changes nothing except causes more division because it's able to be politicized as a negative, right? Well, as we've seen here, national anthem no longer at rallies. So students who attended the winter rally last month might have noticed that something was missing, the national anthem. Although many students might not have noticed that the Star-Spangled Banner was not sung at the winter rally on January 19th, some students did, and they were curious as to why it was removed. Look, I'm going to be perfectly bluntly honest with you. I probably would not remember this being there or not. It's not that I hate the national anthem. Who doesn't love the Star-Spangled Banner? Put your hand over your heart, right? Hand over your heart. There we go. And got to get it right. And you go out there and you're just like, you start singing it, and then you get to the big finish, like, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in there. It doesn't matter. You just make the facial moves. You're out there, you're belting off. Everyone else is belting off. It's a fun kind of community thing, right? It is. It's a fun community thing to talk about, to do. But I probably would not even notice if it was gone. That's just kind of how little I pay attention to it. Now, school leadership officers and the rally committee decided to skip the anthem due to the recent controversy involving unsung verses of the song that are deemed racist. So it has nothing to do with police brutality protests, so that's a plus. But it's involving unsung verses that are deemed racist. So part of this entire situation is just stuff that no one's going to sing anyway, that no one's going to know about anyway, and Fergie won't ever screw up, right? I think that's kind of where we are. Now, it says, in recent months, the California chapter of the National Advancement of Colored People at the NAACP has been trying to push for the removal of the national anthem because they view it as racist and anti-black, according to CBS News. Of course, the NAACP views it as racist. I'm pretty sure at this point they look at someone's black shadow and they view it as racist, right? It's just like, one of the things we have to do in this country in order to progress forward is to utterly stop this everything is racist, everything is sexist, everything is homophobic, because not everything is. And you don't have to call it all out circa Anita Sarkeesian in college back in the mid-2000s, because that was when she was applying that statement to. Now, it says here that the unsung verse in question contains the phrase, "No refuge could save the hireling and slave." Now, that's it. That's one of them, at least. Whoop-de-doo! Whoop-de-dee! Who cares? It's not sung. The vast majority of Americans who put their their hand over their heart and they get up there and they sing, "And their buckets red glare," do not give a crap about this because they don't know it. It's so far removed from their existence that they would probably be able to tell you more about what happened on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, even just through an ancillary piece of information, than this particular verse, right? So it's one of those things that's like so small, so minuscule that it makes no sense to go after it. Now, leadership advisor Aaron McFerrin agrees that the song is problematic and the action should be taken moving forward to ensure that every student feels welcomed, especially after last year when racial graffiti was found on campus. But what does racial graffiti have to do with the national anthem, right? What were they up there? Did the racial graffiti say the term, like hireling and slave, like national anthem for life, hashtag, like 18 different emojis for eggplant? Like, none of that happened. At least I'm assuming it didn't happen. So what would be the point here? It's just so stupid. So in the leadership class, we strive on being really inclusive and mindful of all the decisions we make, said McFerrin. We didn't really know why we were doing the anthem during the rally, so we just thought it was something maybe we could take out. Okay, well, that is actually a decent logic right there. Right? Like that's a decent bit of logic. Just say, well, it's not really necessary for a rally. We generally tend to reserve this for sporting events, and a rally is just kind of a pep rally or a pre-event, so you really don't need to blow your national anthem load on this right here. That would be more of an appropriate answer. But coming back by saying that's racist is just seriously, just come out and say, we just felt it wasn't really needed anymore. But when you pull like you pull out the yellow card, you blow your whistle and go racist, it doesn't help the conversation, right? It doesn't, because all it's going to do is make people go like, wait, hold on, what? And then they're going to go look up the line about hireling and slave, and they'll be like, oh, what's this? Oh, I'm going to sing this next time. Why? Because it trolls you. That's why. All you've done is just made it harder to have the conversation going. Really. Really. Now, many students, such as Alexis Hooper, didn't notice the song was removed until informed. As I said, you're not really going to notice unless you're at a sports game, right? You're just not. Saying, I really don't care, Hooper says. The national anthem is a tradition from many years ago, and the only people who really care about it are older generations. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true at all. I mean, one could argue the same thing for the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Again, I keep putting my hand over the wrong end. When I was a kid, I think at least up until like middle school or something, every day we got up, hand over our heart, and would say, I pledge allegiance unto the flag of the United States of America, until the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Every single moment. I kind of butchered that too at some parts, but that was like, and I still care about the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't have a reason to say it, but if someone was all like, all right, Matt, do the Pledge of Allegiance, I'm like, all right, let's do this, because I still care about it enough to want to do it if I was ever in the right place. But kids today, they don't understand. Kids today, they got no respect. What's the Logan Paul? The respect. That's horrible. Anyway, some students in this generation feel the decision is uncalled for. All right, so yeah, fuck you, Alexis Hooper. Senior Amir Udler feels the decision was at best incorrect and at worst unpatriotic, saying it comes from a very disrespectful place. Leadership said it was in the name of exclusivity, but in reality, leadership is disenfranchising the vast majority of the school who loves the country and who thinks the anthem should be played. I agree with that point there. Senior Dennis Fiorentinos disagrees with the decision, saying, I respect the decision to make the change, and I understand why they did it, but I feel that the anthem doesn't stand for that. I feel that California high school honoring and respecting those who have died protecting our freedoms is more important. Which again, in that context, is perfectly fine. You can totally want to believe that, and that's a very fair and valid approach to that. Now, Fiorentino said that he was so upset by the decision, he contacted various news organizations, and got them to publish the story. Now, the story made national news that day when Fiorentinos was interviewed on Todd Starnes' Fox radio broadcast. During the 10-minute interview, Fiorentinos explained what happened and expressed his disapproval of the decision-making. Fiorentinos was praised by Starnes for standing up for the national anthem and what he believes. Now, the thing is, it depends on if it's going on like a Fox radio broadcast, which is obviously right-leaning. They're going to turn it into very similar to the conversation surrounding players taking a knee during the national anthem, and it becomes this thing. It can easily blow up into something bigger than what it is. But this story is about a little over a week old, and it hasn't really blown up too much, but that could entirely change. Now, some students and teachers on campus. Starnes wrapped up the segment by encouraging his listeners to contact the San Ramon Valley Unified School District to express their concerns about this matter. Saying some students and teachers on campus, such as teacher Barbara Carpenter, feel the leadership class should make the decision based on the student body's opinion, which would be nice. That would be democracy, which is what they teach in high school, which is what the kids have to learn for when they get out into the real world and they want to vote. Right? You want to push the youth to vote. You want to get the millennials out there to vote. Then you gotta start somewhere. And this might actually be a good place that this high school can use in order to teach a valuable lesson about the way democracy works. Or not. I don't know. Saying, I would like the leadership to poll the entire school and see what the entire student body and staff want, not just what leadership students want. And the thing is, a couple weeks ago, I talked about Cool Runnings having been banned from a school, because they said that it was racially insensitive due to the stereotypes it portrayed of the Jamaican bobsled team from the 1988 Winter Olympics. That was also a great freaking movie. Who doesn't love Dougie Doug? It was 2 students who complained in that one. Just 2. And they made that decision. So yes, this teacher is absolutely right. They should poll the entire school. Now, Assistant Principal Kathleen Martins, who oversees leadership, was unaware this decision was made before the rally. So that could be a bit of a wrench in the works, Now, the national anthem will not be sung at rallies for the remainder of the year. A decision about rallies in future years will come at a later date. ASB Council declined to comment, but provided an open letter published in the Californian that addresses the leadership's decision. So this is kind of funny, just ultimately kind of funny. What you've got is them not wanting to do any more rallies at the end of the year, or until for the rest of the year, having this thing, like, as if they could just like overturn that in a heartbeat. This isn't like government with red tape. Like, well, once it's been voted in, you got to go through all the channels of appeals, and then trying to go through committees to make sure we have a right environmental impact on singing the national anthem. None of that even matters. They can just put it back in. But they're not going to, because it's easier to try to sit there and say that this particular thing is racist versus actually having a conversation about what makes it a part of the song that was cut out in the first place. And that's all it is. If they're trying to sit there and say that particular phrase with the hireling and slave line is part of what makes this a bad thing, no one knows about it. And it out of sight, out of mind. And so now that they've brought attention to it and they've made it taboo, all they've done is given it a new life. And that is something they're going to have to deal with. All right. Cool Runnings was not John Candy's last movie. That was actually Wagons East, a movie that he died during the filming of, unfortunately. Great fucking movie. Well, maybe not a great movie, but a good movie. A good movie. So there's definitely that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Okay. So... all right. So what do you guys think about that one? You think it's a good thing, bad thing? What's going on? Kind of curious. Is Nick still here? Is Nick still around? because I want to sit there and ask him. No, Nick left. All right, well, I was going to ask for a philosopher's approach to the story. Help out my buddy with the YouTubes. Apparently he doesn't want that. That's fine. Well, here's the thing. I have talked about this kind of. My streaming schedule will be changing probably later, I don't know, either this week or next week. I'm going to be moving my sleeping schedule around to where I'll be sleeping until around probably midnight or 1 a.m. and then getting up, taking care of the baby. So after that, this stream might go to the morning, or $3 Theater might go to the morning, and then this might go to the afternoon. So the late streams are going to be a thing of the past. So yeah. All right. Did I ever see the Boondocks? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Throw a chair or never throw a chair. They threw a chair. They threw a chair. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I like the Boondocks. First time I saw the show, I was just like, what is this? Okay. What the hell? All right, let's jump into the next one here. It's not as long as that one. That one is a little bit long, but I also talked a lot during it too. I talked a lot. Okay. Oh, slave means conscripted sailors and hirelings means foreign mercs. Oh, really? I didn't even think about that at all. Dude, that's fucking interesting. That is fucking interesting. So it's not even racist. Shit. What the fuck? People are dumb, man. People are dumb. See, folks, when you watch Rustl'd, when you watch the show, you learn things. You learn things. Chat. The best. They're the best around. Nothing's gonna even hold me down. I don't even know. Okay. Yeah, I'm so far behind on movie news. There's like the $3 Theater stream. I haven't done it mostly because I'm just like, there's nothing there like I felt worth talking about. And so there's that. Like I got to get back into it though, because the channel does quite well. All right. Let's see here. Oops, wrong one. Okay. This ought to be a fun one. This ought to be fun because it's shit is cray cray. All right. So, oops, shit. See, that's what happens. Do it live. You fuck up all the time. Oh, you know, I remember when I was in school, and dances were always a big thing, right? It's school dance. You had your winter formal. You had just other school dances throughout the year. And as you know, when you're younger. You know, when you're in middle school, your body's changing. Puberty is coming. You don't know how to act around the opposite sex, right? Especially, yeah, I didn't know how to do it. I was super fucking, just couldn't talk to the ladies. Still to this day, I have trouble. I landed one. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm thankful. But when I was younger, when I was a single man, I was horrible at it. And this sort of thing, this is bad because rejection is part of life. Okay. And when I was in 6th grade, there was this girl I had a huge crush on, you know, named Emily. And, you know, if I would have gone up to her and said, like, would you like to dance? She probably would have told me no, which would have ultimately shattered me, but also maybe boosted up my confidence. Here's a different story because this is bad. Where a Utah mom is upset after schools tell 6th graders they can't say no when asked to dance. Whatever happened to consent? Right? Whatever happened to affirmative consent? I mean, we're not talking 6th graders bumping uglies here, but I mean, like, don't they have an agency of their own? Don't the children have the ability to turn down a partner to whip around the dance floor? I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things wrong with this one here. So a school dance rule described by a school district in Weber County, Utah, as a way to teach inclusiveness, well, of course, there's that word again, raised concerns for one student's mother. When Natalie Richards' 6th grade daughter told her she couldn't say no if a boy asked her to dance at Canesville Elementary Valentine's Day dance, she didn't believe it at first. Yeah, if my daughter came home from school, right? Who is currently, almost 3 months old. If she came home in a couple of years and she was like, Dad, the weirdest thing happened. They told me that I could not refuse a boy if he asked me to dance. And I was like, what is this, freaking Mormon country? Oh, right. This actually isn't Mormon country. So that does kind of make a little bit more sense. But ultimately, no, I'd go down there and I would have a freaking field day. I'd be like, you do not get to tell my daughter who gets to touch my daughter. You don't get to tell my daughter that she can't tell somebody no. Oh, she'll tell them no, and then she'll nut chop a motherfucker. Because I plan on putting her into karate, and then maybe even Krav Maga. Yeah, she's going to mess people up. Anyway, it says, oh, no, honey, Richard said of her reply. You guys are misunderstanding again. That's not how it is. However, after speaking to her daughter's teacher, she realized the statement was accurate. The teacher said she can't. She has to say yes. She has to accept. And I said, excuse me? As a reader at home, I'm even saying, excuse me here? Right? The teacher is saying she cannot say no. She has to say yes. Right? What is this? What kind of nonsense is this? Richards took her concerns to the school principal. He basically just said they've had this dance set up this way for a long time and they've never had any concern before. I find that very hard to believe. I also really question what other things are happening at this school where you've got teachers telling young women, well, if a boy wants something from you, you can't say no. Part of me, I have to ask the question. I'm sorry if there's Mormons that are here. I just have to ask the question. Is this a sister wives recruitment tool? Is that what's happening here? Are they trying to like get you to join into the fold of having multiple wives? Polygamy? Is that a thing? Because if you're taught to believe that you have to say yes to anything a man says, you could have a guy walk up to you 10 years down the road and go like, so kind of putting together this team, right? We're kind of like the Avengers of the polygamists, but I need my Black Widow. I need my She-Hulk. I need my Captain Marvel. I need my Agent Maria Hill. Would you be my Agent Maria Hill? Right? And then she's like, and he's like, this isn't really a request, I'm kind of, you can't tell me no. And she's like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, fine. I want to be She-Hulk. Like, that's nonsense. That is just, you can't have a dude come in and try to Nick Fury your ass. You have the right to say no. And this is ridiculous. Now, Lane Finlay, with the Weber School District, confirms it's a rule, but he said it's meant to teach students how to be inclusive. Oh, no, that is not teaching students how to be inclusive. Saying, please be respectful and polite, Finlay said. We want to promote kindness, so we want you to say yes when someone asks you to dance. And ultimately, look, at the sake of it's pure innocence. I get it. I do. I get it, right? I do understand that. But at the same time, they have a right to say no. Will they say no? Probably not, because they're sixth graders. And you're telling them that you want everyone to feel included and everyone to feel like they're going to have a good time. So the sixth graders are not going to want to anger anybody, so they're already going to just say yes anyway. I mean, what happens at a sixth grade? It's not going to be a twerking, right? You're not gonna get a little jong rap going on, and a whole bunch of grinding going on. It's gonna be like your arms are out like this, or they're down around their waist like this, and you're 2 feet apart, and you kind of sway back and forth like you're in the elevator scene of Super Mario Brothers the movie, and that's it. I mean, no pelvises are gonna be touching, no body parts below the hands, and maybe are gonna be going together, and fine, I get it, but at the same time, they still have the right to say no, right? They have the right to say no. Now, it says here that I do see it from their perspective when it comes to that, but there are many other ways to teach children how to be accepting than with a social dance, Natalie Richards says. Richards believes forcing students not to say no teaches them the wrong lesson. Absolutely. Psychologically, my daughter keeps coming to me and saying, I can't say no to a boy. That message kids are getting sends a bad message to girls that they have to say yes, sends a bad message to boys that girls can't say no. That is very, very, very true. If the girls are taught they can't say no and the boys are taught they can never be said no to, that is going to create a very, very dangerous situation in just a couple years when those kids become of age to start getting ugly, or bumping uglies. You know, like, what are they, 6th grade? So that is 11, 12 years old, right? A couple years after that, they're going to be in high school where they're going to be coming into their bodies even more and wanting to experiment sexually, so to speak. And if a guy is like, I got a raging boner right now, and goes up to some random girl and is like, hey, honey, we were in 6th grade together, right? Can you, you know, a little rub and tug, maybe a little just the tip or whatever? And she can't say no because she's been taught that that's a bad thing. That will get you socially ostracized. That is not a good thing. Not a good thing one damn bit. Now, however, she says, oh, no. Prior to the dance, which is voluntary, students are told to fill out a card by selecting 5 people they want to dance with. The administration says if there's someone on the card that you feel uncomfortable with, the student is encouraged to speak up. That's kind of weird. Saying, okay, if there's an issue, if there's students that are uncomfortable or have a problem with another student, I mean, that's certainly something that they can be addressed with the student and the parents. I'm totally confused on this one. So students can fill out a card by selecting 5 people they want to dance with. If there's someone on the card you feel uncomfortable with, the student's encouraged to speak up. But if you're putting people on the card you want to dance with, you're going to put people on the card that you're going to be comfortable around. So otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense here, right? It's just very weird. Okay, let's go on. It says, however, Richard says that rejection is part of life, and at the end of the day, this policy is sending impressionable children the wrong message. Psychologically, my daughter keeps coming to me and saying I can't say no to a boy. That's the message kids are getting, which is true. One of the concerns that Richard's addressed with the principal at the Canesville Elementary is that parents weren't aware of this policy. She recommended that he send out a permission slip detailing the instructions given to students, and he agreed. As of now, the rule remains in place. Now, okay, so here's the deal. The dude says that that they're going to send it off home with the parents, which that's a good sign. I'm hoping enough parents get mad to go, this is a bad rule, this is a bad thing, and this should not be happening. Ultimately should not be happening, because this is putting children in a very kind of precarious situation, and not one that's good for their development at that age, especially the young girls there. I'm actually like, you know, I can see some people saying, well, you know, like the boys, and like, no, the boys are going to be in a better position, but the boys also might be put in a position too where they're being told that they can't say no, they can't be told no, and that could put them in a very dark place down the road, as I pointed out earlier in my odd kind of rub and tug analogy. It's just so stupid. Like, more parents need to be aware of this. Like, I hope when my kid's in school that we are aware of this kind of stuff, that we talk to her, that we get the info, because what goes on there from the hours of 8 until 3, those 7 hours, we're not aware, right? They have to come and tell us. And if they're not telling us, if my daughter's being told that she has to give in to the will of a boy, she can't say no, then I'm going to go down there and I'm going to say no very loud in their face with a camera, and that will eventually end up on YouTube, because I've got an audience of 160,000 people, and I will fucking use it to protect my kid, and I'll use it to protect other kids too. This is ridiculous. This is lame. This is crap. It needs to stop. This cannot. This is bad. And I'm wondering, in part, and I made the crack earlier about it being in Utah, about it being a Mormon thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but, you know, it just, like, is this where inclusivity has gotten us now? Like, it's just you can't say no because you don't want people to feel bad, right? Now, I guess the thing too is, what about the girls? The girls go to the boy and ask the boy to dance. Are they going to be denied? I don't know. There's things here, but it does feel very, very, very sexist if the girls can't say no, but the boys don't have the same restriction put upon them. So there's that. So yeah. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Jesus. Flux my sub count, motherfucker. Protect kids? Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. You know, I'm just saying, it's kind of like, I mean, okay, yeah, when you, okay, Tyan here says, or Tian says, when I was that age, the girls were the ones that were asked to dance more often because the girls generally mature faster. No sources cited, but anecdotal evidence. I know. Well, we've heard that growing up too. You hear that when you're like in, you know, 5th grade and you get your first dosing of sex education. It's all girls mature faster than boys. So maybe. I still don't like it. I don't like, that's the thing. I don't like that at all. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Chelsea, I'll take a look at the article on Monday and Matt's website here. Definitely, let's take a quick look at that. So we'll take a children's rights activist jailed for abusing children. Good. I need that content for tomorrow and everything else. So we'll have to just do that. All right. We've also noticed that we did in fact hit 111 likes. You guys are awesome. And 208 people still watching, which is freaking cool, man. So I'm totally down for that. I'm totally happy that people are here. 210 now. Shit. It jumped up even more. That's awesome. Okay, so let's jump in to the next one because we got a few more ways to go. This one's definitely interesting, and yeah, take a look at the title there. Snaps for traps, folks. Snaps for traps. You know, when you die, you don't really care what happens to your body, right? I mean, people out there will claim to care, but in that moment, you know, you're gone, right? Whether your soul ascends to heaven, descends to hell, finds itself in limbo or purgatory, or just simply gone, you're not going to be in control of it anymore. So what happens to your body afterward is really just, well, going to impact your next of kin. However, you still want to treat it with a little bit of respect. That's why I'm all for cremation, man. But this one's kind of creepy. Colorado shuts down funeral home operated by body parts broker. Okay. Colorado officials indefinitely shut down a funeral home and crematory this week of a woman who runs as a side business selling donated body parts from the same building. That's creepy. And that's this woman right here. So in its order, issued Monday, the State Office of Funeral Home and Crematory Registration suspended operations at Sunset Mesa Funeral Directors after saying that cremated remains returned to one donor were analyzed by the family and found to be concrete, not human ashes. You can tell the difference between human ashes and concrete. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I can understand, like, you know, to like the layman out there not being able to see the difference between concrete and human ashes. But I mean, who's going to open it up and look inside, right? Who's going to, I mean, realistically, this woman, Megan Hess here. Okay. This is her right here with her, Beverly Goldberg circa 1985 hair. But, I can understand the scam. Who's going to look inside the urn to check out the ashes? Right? Do you really want to take that final look at your loved one, that being your last memory of them as a pile of ash? Probably not. So it's a good scam. But it says here that the action against Sunset Mesa and its owner, Megan Hess, comes after the FBI raid last week. The raid followed a report by Reuters in January about alleged practices at Sunset Mesa Funeral Home and Donor Services, the Hess-run body donation firm. During the FBI raid, officials searching for the funeral home also found bags of dry concrete / cement. Because it's cheap. Like a freaking 45 pound is like $4. You know, it's not that expensive. Former employees of the Montrose, Colorado establishment told the news agency before the FBI raid that they were troubled by what they witnessed at the funeral home. It says here, although Hess spoke with Reuters about her business in 2016, she has since declined to comment. By Tuesday morning, the funeral home's website had been taken offline and the phone number disconnected. Hess's lawyer, Carol Viner, could not be reached for comment. Previously, Viner had asked Reuters to refrain from contacting Hess's employees for any reason. Yeah, because you want to keep them from getting the full story. It's like when Amy's Baking Company was a big thing on Kitchen Nightmares. And they talked to the employees after the fact. After everything went up, they were freaked out. One girl got fired as a result for talking to the TV show. So yeah, you know, they want to keep it on the DL. But at the same time, if you're going to sit there and you're going to run a freaking operation like where you are replacing ashes with concrete, you're going to eventually get caught. But I do want to look, clearly hate the player. Also hate the game. But the game is interesting. As far as scams go, I'm actually impressed. I am. I have to admit that. I have to admit that I'm impressed. Now, in its order, the Colorado Department, a division of the state's Department of Regulatory Agencies, found that Hess neglected to maintain required cremation records for the past 5 years and final disposition records of the deceased for at least 7 years. Sunset Mesa also disposed of bodies before obtaining the necessary permits. That's not good. In last month's story by Reuters, former employees described how bodies donated to donor services were dismembered and sold. The so-called body broker business operated out of the same building. Oh man, that's fucking horrible. State officials contacted Tuesday said that the suspension and order extends only to the funeral home and crematory and that the office has no regulatory authority over donor services. Reuters was unable to determine whether Donor Services, the body donation company, remains open, but its number was also disconnected. No federal law governs the sales of cadavers or body parts and use for use in research or education, and few state laws, including those in Colorado, provide any oversight. So that's essentially like kind of what's going on here, is that you've got this woman running her thing. Let's take a look at the other story here. I'm just kind of curious about this one here. So the FBI scrutinizes funeral home running a side business selling human body parts. So if there's no federal oversight for this and there's no laws against it, then I guess what's the problem here, right? I mean, let's first quick second kind of like talk about the movie Black Panther for a second, right? Like Killmonger was the bad guy, okay? But ultimately at the end of the film, he broke no laws. He broke he had violated no rule at the time, and so I'm just saying, like, it's kind of one of those weird gray areas. I'm not too sure why I made a Black Panther reference here. They're not related, but it's just first thing that popped in my head. So former workers described troubling practices at this mortuary / body broker, including allegations of deceptive marketing and an account of how gold dental work was removed from corpses and sold. So okay. let's talk about this. So here's what I'm thinking. They were donated bodies. The bodies were then cut up, sold off for parts that they could. They were disposed of in ways that were illegal, didn't have permits for them. Gold fillings, gold teeth, other elements were removed and probably resold. And then also people who went in there to cremate the bodies ended up just getting them filled with concrete. I have to say that I'm impressed. So the Federal Bureau of Investigation is interviewing former employees of a funeral home whose owner runs a side business of the same premise, selling human body parts. An agent with the FBI interviewed at least 4 former employees who worked for funeral director and body broker Megan Hess, seeking information about how she operates her businesses. The federal inquiry began several months ago, shortly after Reuters interviewed a half-dozen workers who formerly worked for Hess. One employee, Carrie Escher, said she was especially troubled by the practices of Hess's mother, Shirley Koch, who works at the facility. Escher said Koch, who embalmed and dismembered bodies, pulled teeth from some of the corpses to extract the gold crowns and fillings. Now, it does boil down to the idea here. Again, once you die, you're not in control of the body. And if the body's been donated, then you don't have any say over it. I mean, there's like ethics and morals, mostly the morals of the situation. But if we break it down just on a legal standpoint, they really weren't doing anything that bad. I mean, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were doing things that were bad, but legally, it's kind of like there's a gray area, it feels like. So she showed me a collection of gold teeth one day, said Escher, who helped manage the former creation marketing business owned by Hess. She had sold a different batch a year prior, and they took the whole family to Disneyland in California on the gold that they cashed in. That's crazy. That is crazy. Reached by phone at Sunset Mesa, Cox said she did not wish to talk to a Reuters reporter, saying, "I'm not interested, thank you." Now, the news agency also sent written questions to Hess and her attorney about Cox's alleged handling of gold teeth. Neither addressed the issue. Now, no federal law prohibits the buying and selling of human body parts to be used in research and education. So there we go. It's not illegal. It's just really messed up. In Colorado and in most other states, it's also legal for funeral homes to sell items recovered from dead bodies, such as gold dental work. And it's not against the law to operate a so-called body broker firm from the same facility that houses a funeral home and crematory. Okay, so so if you think about it, It probably what they got her on. It was the record keeping and the permits, which is, I mean, it's a technicality, but it's how they got Al Capone on tax evasion. But at the same time, this woman was able to find, and probably through her mother, a legal loophole that would allow them to dismember bodies and to sell them off and to keep the gold fillings, to take trips to Disneyland, which is just crazy. But it's a legal way of going about it. At least the act, not the record keeping or the permits, or probably, I don't know, if they're putting in concrete into urns, then they've clearly deceived people. And that's where the greed comes in, and they've violated it there. Now, in Colorado and most other states, it's also legal for funeral homes, but the business arrangement is highly unusual. Reuters could find no other operation active in the United States that houses a funeral home, crematory, and body broker in the same facility under the same ownership. Well, it's good to be the first, right? Such multi-purpose operations raise ethical concerns. Several funeral industry veterans said a funeral director who also works as a body broker could have a financial incentive to sell the body for its valuable parts rather than provide an inexpensive burial, for instance, which is, again, entirely true. The conflicts of interest of having a side business in body parts just leads to problems. This is coming from Steve Palmer, funeral director in Cottonwood, Arizona, saying there are no ethics there when you do that. You're not looking at the full disposition of a body. You're looking at how to make money, which is true. But everyone dies at the same time. I'm just kind of pulling the devil's advocate coin here. And if it's been, kind of allowed, I guess, it's hard to, I mean, no. It's definitely bad, but it's also like the ethics there get murky because again, it's just one of those things. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think this is kind of where we're at right now. So this woman here ran a crematory, ran a funeral home, ran a body broking firm, all under the same roof. Employees came and went, obviously, had a weird old time, and looked at this and went like, holy crap, this is crazy. And then complained, talked to the FBI, and now she's shut down. But the question is, though, will she be able to kind of reopen again? Right? Would she be able to do it? And just get the necessary permits. If they close it down indefinitely, that means that they obviously violated a number of rules involving paperwork, right? Again, the technicality. But that's not going to stop her from opening up another business and doing it all over again because of those illegal loopholes. Maybe not in Colorado, but maybe in another state. If there's money in death, which there always is, and they know the ins and outs of the industry, and they know how to do it, to them, ethics be damned. If they're able to become a body, they can get bodies donated, and if they can sell all this stuff off, then it's money, man. And it's not illegal. That's the crazy thing. This woman spends a year collecting gold teeth from corpses, gold fillings from corpses, pulls out the gold, keeps it in a drawer, and then takes everyone to Disneyland with the money. That is some crazy stuff. But it's not illegal. And it feels like it should be. I mean, look, to be fair, I'm glad they're shut down. But at the same time, I'm also just woefully impressed with what they were able to pull off. When a crime is good, because there's not really a crime there outside of paperwork and maybe deceiving people who have had their family members come in to be cremated. That I really do believe is messed up. And I'm glad that they're not doing that. But just for the elements of what we know about, it's so interesting and it's fascinating. And part of me really, really, really wants to know more. And I also really, really, really wonder how many other people out there are doing the exact same thing. No, really, it's crazy. It looks more like she eats the body parts. Reverend Satan says here, she spent so much time thinking she could, she forgot to ask if she should. Now that is a very, very astute point. I do like that one quite a bit. That's a good one. That's a good one there. Okay. Let's see. This next one here is kind of short, but it's definitely crazy. It's definitely a what the fuck kind of story. It's secular penguinist. It is not illegal to take gold filling out of that. It's not at all. It is not at all because of what the fuck. I get like really weird ass emails. Someone just sent me an email saying like, hey, what time do you get off work, daddy? I'll come by and get you, daddy. I'm like, I don't know you. Leave me alone, harlot. But okay, I gotta rush through these because I need to go. I can hear my baby starting to wake up. So let's just go through this one. All right. Snaps for traps, man. Snaps for traps. You know, when you get older in years, right? You might find yourself in a position where you lose a loved one, where your companionship goes away, and oftentimes, you know, old folks' homes are just a nothing but a den of old people. They just go to town. I mean, you'd be amazed at how many sexually transmitted diseases there are in old folks' homes. A lot, right? But everyone wants companionship, is what I'm trying to get to, right? Everyone wants companionship. Now, this one is sad. It's sad in many, many, many different ways. But cops find mummified body of lonely man who died cuddling his homemade sex doll. This is the thing. This is Russia too. This is a crazy Russia story. So it says police have found the mummified remains of a lonely pensioner who died embracing his homemade sex doll. The 66-year-old was discovered in St. Petersburg, Russia, after neighbors complained of a nasty smell in their apartment block, which happens when there's obviously, you know, a body. But the body here is blurred out, which is good. But look at the sex doll. Look at a mannequin with what appears. I mean, it's a well-crafted doll. I don't know if he found a way to have intercourse with it, but it was clearly a friend. Now, the grandfather, named only as Valerie M., has not been seen for several months, they said. When police broke in, they found the dead pensioner lying on his sofa next to his girlfriend. They said his clothed body was partially mummified and that he'd been dead for several months. Yeah, it happens. It does happen. There's a story I did a long time ago, years ago, about a woman who spent 7 years in the backseat of her car in her garage. She died in her car, in her garage. No one found her for 7 years because she had money automatically paying out every single year. And when they finally went in there to foreclose on the house, the guy, the inspector they sent in, went in there and, found her mummified corpse. This stuff happens. It wasn't as weird as this, though. This guy's only been there for a couple months. She was there for years. But she also didn't have a homemade sex doll. I'm saying people want loving too. Now, they said that his clothed body was partially mummified and he'd been dead for several months. Police believe that he had assembled the doll from items collected from rubbish bins near his home in Moskovsky district of the city. I totally butchered that name, but it also kind of feels like this guy for a second had watched something like, let's say, Weird Science and was like, I can do that. Yes, Valerie can do that. Valerie can go make homemade sex doll. Better than Kelly LeBlanc. Haha, take that to John Hughes, you dead bastard. That's a really bad Russian. It's horrible Russian. The head was torn from a mannequin used in a clothes shop. The body was assembled from pieces of fabric, rope, and old towels. Yeah, I mean, look at this here. So you got the head, clearly a mannequin, right? He even went as far as put a beanie on her. That's nice. That's nice. I mean, there's an attention to detail here that I think kind of needs to be discussed. I do. I think it needs to be discussed, right? And for one, you got the, you've got the beanie for winter. You've got the scarf wrapped around her neck. Obviously, I mean, to kind of, however he Frankensteined it together. But still, there's a bit of detail there. The boobs hanging out with the rope around them, like resembling a bondage thing, though. That's a bit cray-cray. Right? That's a little bit on the crazy side. But, he looks like he just kind of pieced her together from stuffing and then other clothing. But there's a level of care and detail that went into that, right? And I feel like that should be talked about. I feel like that should be looked at. That he definitely wanted to make her as real as he could. He wanted to Pinocchio her. And I'm sure when he died, the age of 66, I would assume he did so next to a woman that he loved. She wasn't real, but she was in his mind. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. So it goes on to say here that the large disproportionate bust was made of pink toweling rugs. Good to know. The report said his body looks more like a mummy, but the girlfriend lying next to him on the sofa has remained unscathed because she's not human. In the picture, a child's unclothed plastic doll is also visible. I gotta take a look at this here. There's a naked little child's doll. Probably maybe pretended that was their kid. I got no idea, right? I got no idea what goes into this guy's mind when he's trying to talk about this kind of stuff. Now, an autopsy will be carried out, but the police believe the man died from natural causes in the company of the self-made doll. There were no signs of violence. And then, of course, talking about this guy here who's got a real sex doll that cost him thousands of dollars, whereas this guy really MacGyvered it. And I have to give him credit for MacGyvering it the way that he did. I do have to give him credit here. This is a weird story. It's a sad story. No one wants to die alone. No one wants to die, like of natural causes and with your sex doll, right? With your homemade love doll. I don't even know if I want to call it a sex doll. I mean, yeah, the boobs are kind of a dead giveaway. Okay, the boobs are kind of a dead giveaway. I get that. But at the same time, looking at the way she was crafted, you could, and the way he's cuddled up next to her. This was a companion, right? Like, my grandmother died 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago now. And my grandfather, soldiered on, right? They'd been together for like 60 years. He soldiered on. He's living in a home right now. It's a good home, and he's looking, he has a companion, very nice woman. But I could almost kind of see him in the same position or anyone in the same position, like people need companionship, especially when the older you get. The older you get, the more it helps you cope with things and deal with things and remain not as isolated and alone. And this guy felt this was the best course of action for him and died of natural causes, 66 years old. And now he's being talked about by some fat Yahoo on YouTube because that's just the way the world works. But to Valerie here, wherever you are, if by some reason spiritual stuff exists and you can hear this, man, I wish you had better. I do. I really do. I really wish that this guy was able to find companionship. I mean, down the road, the thing is, like, we don't know who this guy is. This guy could, in fact, be a mass murdering asshole. He could be a person that when they tear open, they go to move the doll, they could have found like the severed, the cut up fetus from a dead hooker or something. Like who knows what they would find. But for right now, what we know is elderly man, not even that elderly. 66 is not that old, right? 66 is not that old, but a 66-year-old dude, older gentleman, dies in embrace of his love doll. If that's not the saddest damn story you've heard today, I don't know what is. All right. This we were born into this world. Yeah, I guess so. There was a super chat that I saw. I want to address the super chat real quick. Matt Jarbuck of Fat Yahoo. Well, I think that's kind of fair to say. All right, 126 likes. We're going to come into the last story here in a second. So if you guys want to smash more on that like smash it like you with the fire and angry fury of 1,000 gods. Pretty good here. Let's see here. Ace Frey, £2 saying take 80% of my £2. Hooray for YouTube. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. That's actually 70%. So yeah, I know it kind of sucks, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I think we're fine. We're fine. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Really good stuff. Definitely, appreciative and everything. Okay. So let's, all right, let's jump into the last one here. This is also one that was on the thumbnail, if you guys had seen the thumbnail. So this is kind of where we are right now in terms of the aftermath of the Parkland shooting, right? The tragic, horrible, terrible, nasty, insert adjective here, shooting from last week that left 17 students dead, 17 people dead at the school. We've seen a number of school shooting threats pop up this last week. It always tends to happen after these kind of events, therefore kind of taking the days until the next one happens, making them shorter, it feels like. 50. There's been 50 threats in the past week alone. And That is terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I don't know why people want to do it. Is it because the name of the shooter is everywhere? His picture is everywhere. There's fame. I mean, you know, they say that when you talk about someone who committed suicide, like a teen who committed suicide, and they put their name and face everywhere, that it's going to guarantee that more kids are going to do the same. But here's a problem though with that. You're never going to be able to get a Farrah Fawcett Michael Jackson situation happening, by the way. And by that I mean you're never going to be able to be. Farrah Fawcett died the same day Michael Jackson died. But Farrah Fawcett died before Michael Jackson, or before he died. So when Farrah Fawcett was dead, everyone's like, oh man, Farrah Fawcett, that totally sucks. Like 3 hours later, Michael Jackson is dead. Everyone stops, right? Like you're never going to get that kind of response, right? The half-life on popularity surrounding someone's suicide in this regard, or these kind of threats, are going to go down. Unless, well, maybe not school shootings, but the cycle of kind of dealing with it, or being shocked, sending thoughts and prayers, because that's currency in this particular regard, and then coming to terms with it, and then moving on, is shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And that's frightening. Here we go. Man arrested for Instagram post of AR-15 captioned, thinking about finally going back to school. Now look, that's a horrible, horrible joke. Kind of funny. I can see the humor in it. Something that my friends would say. In fact, after Columbine, I was 17. I was in high school when Columbine happened. The next day, we were cracking jokes about Columbine because we're all in high school. We're in that area. You know, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold's face was all over the news. Everyone knew who they were. We were wondering if it was going to happen to us. We thought we'd use gallows humor to deal with it. And that's how a lot of people do handle these kind of things, with gallows humor. But still, this is going to get someone in a lot of trouble, because this isn't a school or a kid that's doing it. This is, and well, in Texarkana, Texas, 24-year-old Ricky Jared Rankin was arrested for allegedly posting a photo of an AR-15, the model of semi-automatic rifle that keeps on being used in mass slaughters across the country, to Instagram, accompanied by the caption, "I'm thinking about finally going back to school." Yeah, you don't really want to, ha ha ha, jokes aside, that's going to get you in some serious trouble right now. Now, according to KTBS, the post almost immediately resulted in a police investigation, which is unsurprising given that one of those rifles was allegedly used to kill at least 17 people in a massacre in high school in Broward County, Florida last week. Per the report, they haven't determined whether the post was intended as a joke, but they have not found the firearm in question either. That's kind of frightening. But then again, he could have just gone online and found a photo of an AR-15, right? He could have gone online, just found it, and posted it up there. I mean, the thing is, they arrested him, so it probably wasn't a joke. That's the thing. I mean, if you make the joke, if I were to make the joke, someone would report it, and then I would have the FBI or the police knock on my door and have to be like, it was a joke, right? It was clearly a joke, blah, 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 blah. They would probably cite me, probably write me up or something like that, or give me some kind of whatever, slap on the wrist, maybe arrest me or whatever. But they still, I don't think they would arrest me, but they would still very much realize it's a joke, realize it's this thing, and then not go through it. But I don't know, maybe Texas is different. Maybe they're not messing around. Detectives immediately initiated an investigation and obtained an arrest warrant for Rankin this morning. As a precautionary step, local school districts were notified of the threats and the ongoing investigation. Officers and FBI agents arrested Rankin outside of his home on Park Lane without incident, and then served a search warrant for the property. The weapon in the post has not been located, but weapons belonging to other family members in the home have been secured. And yeah, good luck getting those back too. They like to hold on to those for a long time, by the way. Rankin is just one of a few people who've had visits from the cops after brandishing photos of their weapons on social media lately. Yesterday, WCTV reported that Wakulla County Sheriff's Office in Tallahassee, Florida, arrested an 18-year-old Kane Wilson for allegedly sending a Snapchat video of himself loading a rifle with the caption, "Don't go to school." And again, this is not the time. It's not the time. Okay, look, so I recently kind of came under fire for making a comment saying, you should, people who do what I do, YouTube, right, or just internet at large, we have platforms. We might want to, not make these kind of jokes, or just kind of be mindful of what we say, because they can have an impact on people. And these kind of things, I think the media and how they kind of overglorify this, and they overglorify it, it does turn into the situation where some people out there look at it from the perspective of, hey, I can be this famous too. But like I said before, that level of fame goes down, You know, it just doesn't have the same impact as the first one. I mean, look at the situation a few months ago with Randy Stair, who killed the people that he worked with. You know, he had talked about this on YouTube. He had planned this meticulously. He had planned this event, and he went in and he did it. And people talked about it, but they never talked about the, you know, they had his face out there for a couple of days. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was a kind of a flash in the pan news story. But when you dove into everything involving this guy, it was crazy. You know, this person was a disturbed individual that was leaving clues about being a disturbed individual, and no one acted. But now that the FBI has, when we found out that there was multiple notifications about this shooter from Parkland, and we know that they dropped the ball, that they are now taking everything. So even a joke right now can get your ass arrested. So it's probably best to not joke about this. It says at least 3 students have landed in custody in Chattanooga, Tennessee, alone for threats or poorly received hoaxes on social media. While the MTN News reported the same on at least one in Darby, Montana high school senior, 2 other individuals were taken into custody for alleged threats to Escambia County, Florida schools last week, per the Pensacola News Journal. And another 3 were taken into custody in Greater Cincinnati, Ohio. Just look at this statement here. 3 students in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay. Then you've got, there was another one in Darby, Montana. Then there were 2 other ones that were taken into custody in Florida. So that's a total of 6. And then another 3 were taken into custody in Greater Cincinnati, Ohio. That is 9 people in the last week who have been arrested for these threats or these posts on social media. They are not messing around, period. In other words, various reports of these threats are very ill-advised hoaxes on social media are coming in across the United States. It's likely that the pattern is a mix of people inspired to make copycat threats or hit send on hoaxes after high-profile mass shooting, but also increased reporting and official action taken on those threats and hoaxes. Given that one of these disputes over the U.S. mass shooting crisis right now is whether they are getting dramatically more common or merely dramatically deadlier, it seems pretty likely that law enforcement scrutiny of potential online threats will continue to get more intense. And here's the thing, I'm actually okay with that. I am. All right. I've been swatted. I've had that shit happen to me. Someone made that level of threat. They said I had bombs strapped to my kids' chests and that there were shots fired and SWAT came in. All right. Like, these kind of threats need to be taken seriously and they need to be investigated, even when they're fake. So it's good that people are getting caught. And I really hope people would stop doing it because it's so freaking stupid. And that is just the world we live in. This guy has been arrested for posting this particular picture of an AR-15 because it's similar to the one that was used. All right. And that's why this story is interesting, because this guy, including the other 9 that were mentioned, are a total of 10 people. As I said at the beginning of this video, there have been 50 threats made this week. 50. Why? If people are just that desperate, that so freaking desperate to be, you know, popular online, that they're going to try to make this thing about that. It's just so stupid to me. So stupid to me, because I want to talk about it, try to push people away from from thinking that it's funny to do. Like, wouldn't it be funny if I made this threat? No. Like, in some aspects, yeah, I get it. I can see the humor because I'm a dark, twisted, disturbed person myself, obviously. But at the same time, you really have to be careful. You have to be aware of what you say, because the words have consequences. And I know there's the arguments to be made. What about free speech? Free speech to make jokes. Tact and wit go a long way. Now, I'm not saying if you took a picture of an AR-15 and said, don't go to school, but you peppered it with eggplant emojis, it's still going to end up in the same as that category. You might think it's funny, like, right, I'm going to go fuck the school. That's why I got all the eggplant emojis. No one's going to think it's real. Doesn't matter if they think it's real. It matters if the cops think it's real. It matters if the cops are afraid someone out there might think it's real, so they have to go investigate. When you make these hoaxes, you do take away from actual people in need. You do divert resources to your idiocy than someone who could be in actual danger, right? Like, that is the thing. It costs taxpayers to go and investigate this kind of crap. And it's pointless. It's stupid. It's ridiculous, and it should stop. And I do hope that these shootings slow down. I do hope that they are able to enact actual decent gun reform law, and I don't know what that is yet. To be fair, I don't have a solution. The joke I like to make is just take away the bullets. You know, then you have a whole bunch of really, really, really heavy paperweights or really expensive paperweights. I just want kids to be safe. I know kids are going to do dumb shit. I know they're going to make these dumb claims, these dumb jokes in the wake of these events. But they're going to be fucked by the long dick of the law as a result of that, and I don't feel bad one bit. So jokes are no longer jokes. Yeah, thanks to mass shooters, exactly. They want okay. So, woo. 2 hours and 9 minutes been on stream. And the cool thing about this too is the camera, I don't have to tweak it at all. It's running fine, running perfect. I actually want one thing real quick. Oh yeah, it's not even hot. When I was using the Canon 70D and doing these streams, it was hot. So hot, super hot. Yeah. So there's that. Okay, so let me take a quick look at any final super chats here. All right, so if you guys have any final questions or any final super chats you want to toss out, definitely go ahead and slap it down below. We had 223 people watching. Fan-fucking-tastic. Thank you guys so much. You have no idea. Loving the camera. Oh, yeah, I love the camera. Looks fucking fantastic. Looks great. The lighting is good. I mean, I might add a third light, but I've got with the lighting okay. I want to kind of do more to illuminate the background, but I have to wear brighter shirts. That's the other thing I'm learning to do. Keep the bullets, take the people. What happened to the family that took the shooter in? Nothing. They didn't do anything. They're gonna have to move. Obviously, they're gonna have to close up shop, move town, leave, whatever. The Canon, the S110 is pricey, awful pricey for recording out the window. It's like $200. I don't know, dude. I just like, I know this sounds really bad, but like, you know, when you spend over like $1,000 for a camera, you just kind of, it's like, you know, what is it? This one, like this G7X Mark II, I think was like $700. You know, I mean, yeah. The thing is, when you do this job, you spend money on shit. Probably shouldn't. What happened? I went to go see the Google guy. What Google guy? I forget that. Oh, yeah. The Demore thing. Demore thing was good, man. It was good. It was really fucking good. Mundane Merch Men soon. I have to just talk to. I have some artists that I'm working with. But no, the Demore thing was fine. There was no Antifa protests. There was like a light protest. Good conversation. I hung out with Tim Pool afterward. Tim's a good dude. Everything else, it was pretty good. Anahata Hearts. Heart you, Yarbo. Would love to see you exclusively on Saints sometime soon. Yeah, Nick keeps hitting me up wanting to get me on Saints, but he always does it like when I'm busy. Sunday nights are kind of a hard thing. Midweek Saints would be easier for me to get on. I know tomorrow night I'm on the Ranting Monkey show, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Ranting Monkeys channel. And then I'll be doing, obviously, 3 Buck Theater and everything else myself. So, yeah, I'm kind of going to get around. I kind of want to do more with, like, other people. You know, I want to do more with other people and stuff. But in the meantime, if you guys haven't already, join up the Discord, because that's where, if you want to talk to me exclusively, if you want to hang out with me and the people that come onto the Discord, have a good old time, just discuss everything that's going on in the world today, we can do that. A lot of Discord conversations happen over there. A lot of good people that are hanging out. We actually officially broke 600, I think like 620 or 640 people in my Discord, which is fucking cool that many people have signed up. So I recommend that quite a bit. Also, if you haven't already, follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook. Those are good places to go to. Edit49, thank you very much for the $1, sir. Appreciate that. Do I have any mundane Matt bobbleheads? No, I don't. Or how do I do that? It's like I got like I'm Parkinson's or some shit. No, I don't have any bobbleheads. I don't know why the fuck would anyone want to buy a bobblehead. Do more with Magog. Yeah, I like Magog. I like Magog quite a bit. Good guy. Good guy. Good YouTuber. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him get the 100,000 subscribers. I want to see him get that shit. How did I meet Monkey? I met Monkey, I think just randomly through like just, you know, YouTube and shit. Twitter. I think he followed me or something. Do I know Dictor Van Doomcock? No, I don't. Collab with him, Magog. I don't know, like, if, you know, our styles are entirely different, you know, but I really like what Magog puts out. So I think the guy could pull off easy if he tried playing off. I was talking about being a good guy with a gun. Could work. You know, there is a theory that when it comes to schools about hiring more security, but hiring veterans. I'm actually 100% on board with that one. So, which one of my 5 cats is the most friendly and outgoing to strangers? That would be Chance, the cat who was sick. And I have to take him to the vet again too. I have to take him in. He's been puking up again. He's been kind of like going through some stuff. I don't know what's going on with him. It might just be really fucking cold. But when he came home from the hospital from surgery, we got him a cat bed, and he was avoiding it when he was feeling better. He's using it again. He's been like really clingy and everything. And I have an appointment to take him into the vet. I'm like, dude, I hope to God it's not like another gallbladder stone. I can't afford another fucking surgery, but you know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm hoping it's nothing. He seems okay. I think I might just be overreacting. But he's a good dude. He's a good guy. What's my opinion on Philly D's approach to showing mass killers? You know what, man, I can respect this. I can respect this game on that one. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm in the middle of it, to be honest with you. Part of me, I understand the logic, but I also think that we need to know this information. But it's like, how do you portray it in a way that's like not going to be over glorifying the you know, the person you're going to show them for the mass murdering fuckhead that they are. I don't know. We should hire dogs as security guards, because who's going to shoot a dog? A lot of people will shoot a dog. Yeah, I think it's going to really be bad. We got to get a bobblehead of me holding my cat. If we could find someone who could build a 3D printed model of it, maybe. Oh man, Cody, I'm really sorry to hear about your dog, dude. I really hope, you know, you make his last couple days, you know, super fucking, super good, man. Terminal cancer is no joke. And especially on animals, you know, because they're such a huge part of your life. And it's only in the moment where you feel they're going to be gone do you feel the most like sadness and anger at that, you know. So there's that. All right, but let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I need to go and check on my daughter. But we will be back on tomorrow night after I do the Ranting Monkey stream. So if you guys got any stories you want me to check out, mundanemat.com/submit, or pop into the Discord. You can do that too, and we can do all that shit. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you all very, very, very much. Have yourself a great night, and peace out.